Panda
and Phantom
Show.
Really?
Didn't say if I didn't make a noise, it would have been perfect. I had my finger on the button and everything.
What the hell, Panda?
Like, okay, I'm gonna time this perfectly, and then it didn't go off, and I had to press it again.
Oh my god, you just freaked yourself out. I don't know why that's so funny, but oh man. Oh, I needed that. Thank you.
And then we both started laughing quietly, like.
Because I know why you did it, and I'm just like, oh, she did it again. But not only did she do it again.
I have a game called, it's like a monkey game where the monkey throws poops at you. Oh, this one is double-sided because it's two different things on each side. But the monkey throws things at you, throws poops at each other. It's a card game. So I bought rainbow clay poop to go into that card game, which is very fun. Pooh the game, yes, it's Pooh the game. Thank you, Legends. It is Pooh the game. It's very great. Oh yeah, I have blue. My blue screen is blue, which is close enough, while this blue is not. So we have doggy tails. Oh, but it's sort of catching it. Poops are in this one, in this one, in Bark Avenue. Okay, maybe I haven't gotten there yet. We shall see. We're going to raid into Duchess, who's on playing board game arena games. We usually raid Time Roller, but we're gonna do it a little bit differently. So please copy the Nightbot command, if you would, and show Duchess some love. If you're not following her, feel free to follow her.
Hold on. Wait 3 seconds.
Got
2, 1. Say all that again because they were in an apple.
Oh, you adholes. Don't clip that. We're gonna
Please clip that.
No. You little turd. We're gonna raid it to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna push my luck. I'm gonna do that one. Yeah, okay. What is... I swear it was Kickstarter that I bought like a year ago. Which still means I did buy it. Okay, let me see. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna get some... I can't find sticky notes for the life of me. Wait, are those? Nope, that's one. That doesn't help. That does not help, Amanda. What the hell, Panda? Nope, wait, is it behind me? Roll it. It is Bonzinator!
Yes! Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Early birthday present.
Gosh,
Yes,
let's
happy
go!
birthday, Bonz!
Yay! Woo! Let's go! Woo! I'm so excited!
Where's the party
Yay!
poppers?
Collection, Phantom. It's very
I know.
fun.
I really have some interesting ones.
You have some really good ones. Yeah, I have a lot of board game ones. But anyways.
A game where this guy says I need to learn how to sing that. You know, I don't know why I learned how to do it, but I did because it's just so random. By the way, if you actually call that, you'll get a surprise. It's a real number, by the way.
Do it, everybody. So Sunday I'm doing a start to finish of Finding Atlantis. Oh, someone pooed. Hey, we just got all the fiber. This one, I'm gonna get some crockery.
Oh, you turd.
Sorry. Not sorry.
No, you're not.
Totally not sorry. Hey.
Oh, that's hysterical.
That is, what is it? Karma. That's totally karma.
That is 100% karma.
100% karma.
All right.
Karma
You're all done?
chameleon. Yes, it is.
Can't see. Oh, there you go. Okay. No, that is oven. That is oven, not COVID.
Not COVID.
Okay. Okay. So, you already revealed 3 heroes from the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Death
Okay, and then you place your meeple there,
21
Mhm.
monthly
right? And you,
sub.
where are you
Odds
placing it? Are you placing it to add to?
Don't forget about the cards that are in your where you are saving things.
Your no-no zone?
These that you have saved them at.
Panda.
That's why I held on to
Phantom.
it.
Show.
It's the
Panda.
and Phantom.
Show. Really?
Didn't say if I didn't make a noise, it would have been perfect. I had my finger on the button and everything.
What the hell, Panda?
Like, okay, I'm gonna time this perfectly, and then it didn't go off, and I had to press it again.
Oh, you! Oh my God! You just freaked yourself out. I don't know why that's so funny, but oh man. Oh, I needed that. Thank you.
And then we both started laughing quietly, like.
Because I know why you did it, and I'm just like, oh, she did it again. But not only did she do it again.
Okay,
So this is our generation, Jackie.
This is our
how our
generation,
generation does
yes.
it. This is
Hey, you know-
how
This is
younger
the,
people do it.
and then there's
Oh.
also this one. And
Would
then
you like to
I
know
think
how
this
my
one.
generation does the heart?
Oh.
So if you ever see me do that to you, it means I love you.
Totally.
And then this is the Asian heart, right?
Yeah.
Ready when you are. Get the theme song.
Thanks for seeing that.
It's the
Panda.
and Phantom.
Show.
Yay! There we go. It's a
One of these
days.
one of these days, I will not have to remind you.
No. I don't think you needed to remind me, but it's funny because you say it, you delayed just enough that it was caught in the stream while I was transitioning.
Oh, great.
Like if you had said it. Hello, everyone. Okay. How are you all doing? I'm Amanda Panda. Welcome to my channel. Yes. I have been away for like 2 weeks. Yes, because of work stuff. And then, yeah, BGG Spring. And I'm excited to be back. But I'm always like, oh gosh, what's happening? Hello, Deadpan, and welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Number 1 in chat. Good to see you, my friend. And Death Warmed Over. Whoop, whoop. Subscribe for 21 months. I don't know why I did that. It's like, Odds Bodkins. Thank you so much. Death Warmed Over. So good to see you. Hello, Games Mama. I got to meet up with Games Mama. We snuck her in, y'all, at BGG Spring, and you'll get to see that soon. Hey, Games Mama, can you remind me on Discord to send you pictures? Because I will forget. How's everyone doing? I am very happy with myself that I posted 3 posts about the first 3 days of BGG Spring. I need to do the last 2. And hopefully I can get those done because my brain doesn't like it. My brain doesn't like journaling or diaries. I go for like a week and then I stop. But I love making lists that go nowhere. It's just an organizational technique. But yes, I have a lot of notebooks in my life that I need to deal with and figure out and not hoard. Because I do like hoarding notebooks. That is just who I am. But welcome in. How is everybody? What have y'all been playing? You'll get to see what I've been doing. This is my very first BGG Spring. I got back yesterday at midnight because my flight was like delayed 2 hours. We'll talk about that later. But I am very, very grateful to BoardGameGeek.com for bringing me out there because I been on their game nights. So Lincoln and Aldi decided to have me out there, and they very graciously paid for everything, my flight, my hotel, my badge, and I am very, very grateful. And you know, like, it was fun. BGG Spring is definitely a playing con, not a buying con, but there was a good exhibitor hall, y'all. And they usually get a lot of the new hotness from, like, you know, last year. It's, you know, it's not the Gen Con Essen releases that, you know, Gen Con and PAX Unplugged get, but they have a lot of good new hotness games. So if you're a cult of the new, then BGG Spring or BGG Fall is probably, BGG Fall will probably have this year's Essen releases and Gen Con releases. So if you're a cult of the new, try BGG Fall. Now, the difference between BGG Fall and BGG Spring is that BGG Spring is happening in May, and it's at the hotel that's like right next to the airport, the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. But then BGG Fall is actually a hotel in the middle of Dallas. So you go to a different airport and then have to Uber in, but you get more food choices and you don't have to pay to drive. And that no one delivers food to the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport hotel because there is a toll road to get into the airport area. And I was like, okay, that's a little weird. But if you're staying at the hotel, they get it. You get it, what do you call it? They validate it, so you don't have to pay the toll, which is very, very nice. But that means that no one could deliver. So we wanted donuts and they wouldn't deliver. It was sad. But then, like, you know, a couple people had cars. Our family plays games with there, and they had a car, and, you know, of course, Lincoln and Nikki have a car, and Aldi, and a lot of locals, a lot of Texans drove in, which was really cool. So that was awesome. Hello, Matt Miller. BGG Fall, Cult of the New, BGG Spring, Cult of the Ketchup. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. Also, BGG Spring is family friendly. They have a gamer in training program and rooms. The kids aren't like underfoot, and in the main exhibit hall and in the main playing area, there's not that many kids. But I love how that atmosphere will really bring in like a lot of variety of players. Like there was a lot more women there, and there was a lot more people of color there than I was kind of surprised because it's Texas, y'all. So, there you go. Yep. Once you put the kids to bed, it's BGG After Dark. Oh, people stayed up. And the good thing also about, good and bad thing about BGG Spring is that they have rooms on like almost every floor had a room that you could play games in. So like, you know, if you had kids and you just go into the game room that's on your floor, it's great, right? You don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to lug them and all this stuff. And people will camp out on a specific floor in a specific room. But that means that you can't just randomly find people either, right? Unless you're in the lobby, hanging out in the lobby, you're hanging out in one of the two main open gaming rooms, you're not just going to randomly find people. I think the main gaming room next to the exhibit hall is the one where if you want to be seen or you want to see people, you go there. But I know, like, Eric Lang was a special guest. And I know he was like playtesting prototypes, but those could not be seen. So he was doing it in actual rooms where, you know, people couldn't see it because they couldn't have pictures of it. So like you could see him like in the afternoon and evening wander around the big exhibit halls. But at the same time, it's like, oh, you know, people missed him because, you know, he had to be tucked away. So yeah, I got to, you know, just randomly meet up with people, and I was very grateful for that. But a lot of times, like for this con specifically, I was like, okay, I definitely need to get a game in with Mick and Starla and Grant. I need to get a game in with, you know, Nikki and Lincoln. I need to get a game in with, well, they live near me, but anyways, I need to get a game in with like Nick and Mike, you know, Murphy. And so I scheduled, I'm like, I'm gonna meet you at this time on this day and we're gonna play a game. and then you have to be like, well, where are we going to, you know? And then luckily, like, the game guildies were so welcoming. It was hard to pin down Steph and Michael though to play games, but I got one in on the very day 0. But yeah, the game guildies was like all over the place. I'm like, where are y'all? You know, in the Discord and stuff. So the one thing that was BGG Spring is it's so spread out. I feel like if you're there for the first time and you're solo, you just kind of need to just make friends in the main gaming or go to the panel, like talk about, you know, first timers or soloers to the con and make friends. Otherwise it's hard, right? It's very hard to like just randomly make friends and doing that. Hello, Kima, welcome in. Good to see you. And Dutch Yoda's rating. Hello, Dutch. Hi, Clyde. The Clyde man, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid, Dutch. Oh, where's my shout out? Wait, how am I doing this? What's going on? I forget. No, just kidding. Oh my gosh. Oh, I missed you too, Kima. I'm so glad you are here. Is there a you? Shout. There is a you. My gosh, you're away for like 2 weeks and you don't know how to do anything anymore. There we go. There's the Dutch Yoda shout out. Let's do this one as well. It's not a Dio, it's a shout out. Dutch Yoda. There we go. Let's see what pops up. If that will any work. Will it work? Will it work? It should work. We'll see. Oh no, it didn't work. There we go. Did that not work? Oh man. Nope. But please go follow Dutch if you're not already. I know everybody is. He does coffee and crowdfunding on Tuesdays, so go check that out. What was I going to say? Kim, I did have an excellent time at BGG Spring. That was lovely. I was just saying how they brought me out there so that I could go. And it's a playing con. So I tried to play all the games, like, Steph and Michael, but I had to do some work as well. Did some networking, did some, you know, demoing of Popcats. You'll see that later. Did I succeed? I semi-succeeded. I feel like with all the big games that are coming out last year and this year, that I played more heavier games and longer games than lighter games in a lot of them, if that makes sense. But yeah. Oh yeah, no, Dutch, it would be way too expensive. But yeah, I mean, BGG is just awesome. The con is awesome, the people are awesome. Basically, BGG Spring and Fall are just ways to play games with your friends. The issue is that if you don't know which friends are going, then it's hard to meet up with people and randomly like, oh, you are here and you are here, you know? That type of thing. But luckily, like, I was there and was able to, like, really meet up with a bunch of friends and do that. Ooh, BGG Europe! That's a good idea. That's a good idea. But they need more money to make that happen. They need everybody that touches BGG, like all the users, to pay like $5. Then they'll be fine. But no. I don't think it will happen. Kim had a little con at my house on Saturday. 12-hour game day. Nice. That's awesome. What did you play, Kimma? Was it for your birthday? Or is that later? I think that's later, right? I never play like quantity. I'm always going for quantity, but you know, I'm always going for quantity, but I never get the quantity I want. But it's very quality, right? I go for quantity, I end up with good quality, which is also good, right? It's awesome. The show says I'll pay the $10 and cover my son. Yes. Yeah. So you will see pictures. We will do the picture thing. But yeah, just an overview. I did a lot of eating. I did a lot of hanging out with friends. Just a little bit, you know, less gaming than I wanted to. But it was still pretty good. Kimma says, it's later. Your birthday. Yeah, Kimma's birthday is later. We played 5 games. The Magnificent. Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
Kavango I heard of. Castle Combo's good. Tir Nug Nug I have not heard of, and It's a Wonderful World. Okay. Okay. There's so many games out there. Another great thing about BGG Spring or any con when there's like a lot of board gamers in a hotel is that you talk about what you're doing. Like random people also staying in the hotels like, what's this? And you're like, you should check it out. So yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna just double check myself that I have everything going. Yep. Okay. But yeah. I'm tired. So it might be a little bit of a shorter stream depending on what happens. But yeah, hopefully I'll have enough stamina and things to talk about so that we can raid in Bonds, because Bonds also came back from a con. Half my friends were at KublaCon in San Francisco, and half was at BGG Spring. So, and then it's gonna be the same. Half my friends gonna be at BGG Fall, and then half of my friends are gonna be at PAX Unplugged. This is the way it is. Dutcho, thank you for the lurk work. Thank you for doing all the TLN stuff too. Today I gotta do tabletop after dart stuff, you know? Kima says, getting people into board games, right? Love it. It was hard to find everyone because all first. Yes, Kima. I literally had to be like, okay, you know, either Discord or texting people, be like, we're gonna meet up at this time, you know, and we're gonna meet at this room. In order just to get games in. And there was like, you know, hidden rooms and rooms that, you know, like, I was like, what? There's a room here? And it was kind of hard. There was the other thing that I really wish that happened was that they had more signs. Like, the floor had open gaming, right? The 11th floor had a whole bunch of rooms. But when you get off the elevator, there's no sign. You had to literally walk to either one side or the other, look down the hall, and then see the sign on where to go. I feel like they just need definitely lots more signs. There was rooms within rooms. There's a which I'll talk about in a minute. We're gonna go through all that. It's just they just needed more signage, period, you know. Kima says, oh, you look at you with the 3 stream streak. Thank you, Kima. Streaking everybody. Yes, planning. Well, see, yes, planning is involved. Because you just never know where everyone is, right? And you can't walk through every single floor to find someone to randomly run into people. But it is a great con when it's your friends. You know what I mean? Because the board game library is so great and it has a lot of new stuff from last year, right? And they had like all these tables for the Spiel des Jahres nominees, and you just sit down and they had 2 people from Germany come, Manu and Christoph, to teach all those games, and it was great. But if you didn't have like, I feel like Bond should definitely go to BGG Spring. She would have such a big group, and you know they would be able to like take over like 2 floors and just have a Bonds con in the middle of BGG Spring, and just, you know, have one room of like 5 tables, and that would just be all Bonds friends, you know, because that's the thing with this con is it's great for if you have a group of friends. If you're going by yourself and you've never gone to a con before, I think it'd be really a little bit hard. I mean, there's great, you know, there's a lot of people that are like looking for players, looking for teachers, that type of thing. But it's just so spread out, you know? You would basically just stay on the main bottom floor and meet people, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, BGG Spring. I am gonna go over my pictures, so we're gonna talk about it a little bit. I took this picture because it was like the perfect, like my bottle of tea fit right between the handle bottom and the top where my backpack was. So this is all I brought. I should have brought a check-in bag because they had such great deals and everything, and they had a bargain, like a virtual flea market plus the charity thing. But it was my first time going. I didn't know. And also, I was not paying for my plane ticket, but I could have paid for extra luggage anyways. Yeah, and they gave you games when you registered, when you checked in. Not when you registered, when you checked in, right, at registration. So that was awesome. But yeah. I should have brought more. Kima says the fun part is making new friends. Yes, and also just running into friends you know don't see often, or you only see at cons. You know, like the first PAX Unplugged or the second PAX Unplugged. I love just walking up. Yes, yeah. That too. Yeah, I just, like, the first or second PAX Unplugged I went to, like, I love just walking the exhibit hall and be like, hey, it's you, oh, I got to meet you. I mean, I did that too here. It's just a lot less, just because if I was playing a game in a room on a floor, you wouldn't see me. But if I was playing a game, if I was just hanging out in the lobby, before, like, going out to dinner, you would get to meet me. Or, like, if I was, if I was in the exhibit hall, these rooms right here, right? If I was in the open gaming here, or there's an open gaming, like, down here, then yes, like, you get to meet people. But it was, like, harder, right? And then they had the games library down here. There's more tables over here. I guess you could just park here, and then, everyone walks by to get to the library, right? But what I didn't like was that in the food court room, there was all these breakout rooms with other stuff. And those things kind of got lost sometimes. Yeah. What games did you get from registration? I have no clue. We'll see if I remember. I have no clue, because one of them, like, both of them I've never played. And one of them I, like, patched. And I literally stuffed myself, my suitcase. I have not unpacked. I got help at midnight, and then I had playtesting this morning, so I have not unlocked yet. I'll do a post on what I got, but you'll also see what happens when I do that. But yeah, like, the floors, there's rooms on every floor, and 11th floor has another, like, 5 rooms. It was funny because I was trying to find a friend, and they're like, we're at the very end of the 11th floor. There's 2 rooms at the very end of the 11th floor. Plus, she had her back to me, to the door, so I was like, what exact room are you in, please? I could not find her. It was crazy. But yeah. So yeah, sorry, Kim, I honestly have no clue. So, okay, so let's start. That was my backpack. That was my thing. And then at the airport, I saw like 3 or 4 K9 units do training. Like, they couldn't tell us exactly how many K9 units were on, but there was multiple units from multiple divisions just doing their training. And I was like, but they're doggos! So I took a sneaky picture of one of them. He was a good boy. There's big ones and there's skinny ones. It was like a big variety of dogs, but they were like all up in there. Yes. It is a working boy. He was so good. He was a good boy. But yeah, I saw like 3 or 4 of them. I'm like, what's going on here? It's just training. They're just doing training. It would be interesting if like 5 dogs didn't find something and then the 6th dog found something. It'd be weird. But yeah. As I was sitting there waiting, I always go for domestic flights 2 hours ahead of time. I cannot do the 1 hour ahead of time. I just can't. But yeah, I saw a lot of puppies. And then, of course, I had to take a picture out the window. Now, I was sitting in the aisle, which is why someone else's phone's in the way. But I love taking pictures of the earth from up high. And then, as I was leaving, this girl had a panda backpack. I took a sneaky picture because I really liked it. And I really wanted it. So, didn't say anything to her, though. Didn't say anything to her. Meant to be. Yeah. And then I got to Dallas Fort Worth. This is the first thing that like showed me where I was. There's 2 airports, so if you went to the other airport, you had to like drive or take a Uber Lyft for like 30 minutes to get to the hotel, which was expensive. So yeah. And then they put me up in a little junior suite, and I was like, this is cool. Didn't have to share with anyone. It was great. I do like sharing rooms with friends though, especially for cons, because you always have like someone to like go to breakfast with, or chat with at the end of the night. But it was also nice to just have my own room. You know what I mean? I did not want to share with a stranger, if that made sense. So yeah. I know, it was so nice. And then it was cute. This hotel had like different places where you can, take photos of your group. It was funny. Quiet after the crowd is nice. That is true. But when you room with someone, you almost have a built-in little con buddy, right? And every morning, like, I had to eat breakfast by myself. I had to go and find people by myself. It was, that type of thing. But yeah, it's awesome. And then the two guys from Germany who came to teach the Spiel games brought German candies, which was very nice. My first time eating them, and I really like the gummy. I like gummies, so these were good. But I like the gummy brains the best. And they called them ices, but they're actually like glaciers, and they have a weird mint flavor to them, but they were good too. Yeah. And then this is the board game library of BGG Spring, and these are probably going to be out of order a little bit, so my nose is always running when I am chatting with y'all. Anyways, so they have this. I thought this rack of player mats was a great idea, but can you store it that way long term? Because I would feel like it would kind of like stretch out or dry out. I don't know, but this was a great idea. And then this is their library. It's amazing, so huge. Over here on the left is it's just a wall of new games, like the new hotness. And there's new hotness. Now, I took a picture of this because I know a lot of pharmacists. And I was like, I should get this one for them. That one's cool. And then I took a picture of License to Curl because it had a little purse. Like, the cards fit into the mouth of the whale. I was like, that's so cute. Of course, Mass Effect is in the background. But yeah, this is the hotness. I didn't get to play License to Curl though. I should have played License to Curl. I found a game with my name on it, or sort of. It's Ananda, but not Amanda. Now, I don't know why it's called Ananda, honestly. But I was like, that's pretty cool. I actually checked it out twice to get it played. But that was... So this is a little... I did a video. This is all the new ones. There is like 5 or 6... for the new hot games, and they're in alphabetical order. Oh, this is me starting from the very beginning of the... I'm going backwards, y'all. This is D through A. So yeah, so this is me going through and doing a little video of all of the games, and we're gonna keep on going. So these racks have like mesh that they zip tie so that they just leave everything on the racks. At the end. No, so that's the great thing about it, is that you don't need to organize it because it's just alphabetical by, not alphabetical, but like by letter. Like, so you have 2 shelves of A and 2 shelves of B or whatever, and then you just put all of them in there. And it's not like completely alphabetical, so it's easy. And then at the end, all they do is zip tie on these netting so that the games don't shift, and they can do it out. No, they don't even do a barbecue cover. They actually just zip tie on some netting, and it keeps the games in place. And this is, why are you not loading? There you go. Yeah, it's quite a system. If you look on the side, do you see this dark netting that the 31's on? Yeah, they just add another piece in the front. And they just zip tie, and then all the games just stay there. Yeah, it is very smart. Very smart. But yeah. So I was like, that's pretty cool how they did that. and then they're numbered, so that's very easy to just put it back in order because all of them are numbered, right? I think they would have to change some stuff once they put the new stuff into the old one, but they're not going to put every, you know, game that's new because they have multiple copies of the new one into this like library, right? They would just put some of them. And then if you see some games that are on the top shelf, they're either too big to fit or they're rated at MA, right? So yeah, so this is the new games. Oh, oops. Okay. Here comes the new. I was like, wait, I'm going backwards. These are the Cult of the New games that they had. And as you can see, they do have multiple copies because it's Cult of the New, right? Hello, Bonds! Good to see you. How are you doing? I was just saying how half of the friends went with you to KublaCon and half went to BGG Spring. Well, actually, some of them actually went to my local con. But yeah. So I'm just going through the BG game library, and they have a, you know, small box games as well. You know, they have new and old small box games. Here's the other side. I'll probably stitch this together into one video at some point. Yeah, I know, the tote bin organization is great. Yeah, it's so smart, and it's just by letter. So it's easier to, you know, figure out and go through. Oh, I got Photobomb by Lincoln. If you don't know, he is the one that does all the streaming for BGG on Twitch and YouTube. Let's see what's this. Ah, here we come. I don't know why. I went backwards because the starting where you come into the BGG library, the first door is the end of the alphabet. And the last door near the A is where you check out. So the first door is where you... the first door is end of the alphabet, you check out your games. The other door, the far door, is the start of the alphabet, and that's where you check in games that you're done with. So it was a little weird. But yeah. And we have one more, I think. Yeah, this is a big library. But it was really awesomely organized, and there was great volunteers that, you know, checked you in and out. So it's a lovely system. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna go on. So yeah, so this is you check in the games that you're done in here on the opposite end. So I'm near the A's right now. And then on this side, on the right side wall, is Cult of the New, and then you have your small box games, and then on the left side is A through Z. And then, of course, Derek Porter. I actually didn't get a picture with Lincoln and Nikki. That was the first people I saw, actually. And then, of course, Steph and Michael. And Derek and I learned and played Dungeon Scrawlers because Steph had it. She was going to sell it for $10. It's an interesting dungeon crawler maze puzzle with a slight racing aspect to it. So you are kind of like there is like 10, I think, different mazes that you can go through, and you can progressively go, and some of them have slightly different rules, and you're basically drawing one line through like a maze, but you're not trying to get to the end, you're trying to get to the boss. But before you get to the boss, you're trying to do other stuff like do the magic, which means you have to basically follow whatever shape it is, or circle treasures, or defeat monsters by scribbling over them. And whoever like scribbles over the boss and defeats him ends that map. So you gotta do it before they do, but you can't watch them, if that makes sense. And you try to get the most points, yeah. So it's quite interesting. Hello, Eva! Good to see you! I am back! But yeah. And then this is the second one. As you can see, we had all of the scribbles. You try to, like, this one was interesting because they had keys, and I didn't like this one at 2-player. Because it was hard, you only had one spot where you had to get the keys, and then you only have one spot to get to the main big baddie, right? The boss monster. But everyone could have different powers, which was kind of cool. So if you can see, and you can go over previously drawn lines. You just can't go through walls, and you know, you can bounce off walls, but you can't go through walls. So I thought that was a cool game, but something I would play probably, but not what I wouldn't own it, if that makes sense. And this is the last one, where you can go. I think this is the one where you can go. Yeah, there's portals where you can bounce around the map, but it was kind of hard to see the portals. So you were like spending time trying to look for the portals to bounce off. And then they had a nice QR code system with free Wi-Fi, so that you can go to the QR code system. But that's awesome. Oh, and Eva, if you don't know, I'm just talking my way through the pictures and my experience as a first timer at BGG Spring. So if anyone had any questions, let me know. And then I had a sneaky picture of the volunteers. They all get this really cool little jersey to you know, wear and stuff. These are like the full-time volunteers. And then, you know, they had a little meeting and a picture and stuff. And this is day 0. And they had a cool thing where it was pixel art with sticky notes. So, and then if you go to bgg.com, you get to see some more pixel art with the sticky notes, which I thought that was a cool way of doing it, right? There's no permanency. You just take a picture and it doesn't damage anything, but it's a nice way to do a little bit of art, right? And then the hotel had some kind of interesting, like, things about Texas, and I didn't know Barney was from Texas. Like, I had no clue. And those, if you don't know, those are VHS tape covers. Just in case if you're too young. Eva says, I found a channel. It's a channel on an app called Plex. Like, YouTube has channel. That made me think of you. It's called Cooking Panda. Oh, I did not know that. Yeah. I know. Well, I didn't know, Kima, that Barney was from Texas. I honestly had no clue. But Eva, that's cool. Cooking Panda. Wait, is that on? I might know that one. I know. He's not being crucified, Eva. He does look like it, right? If he wasn't like this, if he was like more like that, yeah. But they had to stick him up there. I guess they could put a little shelf underneath him to make it look like he wasn't pinned. You know he's zip-tied or pinned to the board. Yeah. He's a happy family. But I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool that they did that. How do I keep on going? Where is this thing? Oh, I have to there we go. And so the first dinner, we went to Velvet Tacos, which was very interesting taco fusion, which was cool. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. That was the Barney song. No, that was not the Barney song. Was it? Yes, that was the Barney song. That was the Barney song. For some reason, I felt that there was other words to it. But yes, that was the Barney song came out. So I got 2 tacos. I got the tiki masala and the shrimp Tex-Mex. Oh my gosh, these elote dip was so good, so good. And they gave you like chips that were perfect for the dip. But yeah, here's the gang. This is Christoph on the bottom taking the picture. Manu, they're 2 Germans that came who are jurors of the Spiel des Jahres and taught us all of that. So that was cool. And then we have Mike and Michael, and we have Nikki, Lincoln, and me, and Aldi and his wife. So we all went out to dinner. That was very nice. And then Duchess came in, flew in, was very nice. And if you're seeing, she gave me a tiara, and I was very grateful. You'll see it. I know. That's because. So Kima says no crown duchess. I know, because that's like the first time. Like she just literally got in. Kima literally got in to the thing. so I like took a quick picture. Yeah, but she gave me a crown too, so I was very you'll see it later. But very great big hug and kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? Yep, that's the game. That's the song for Barney. Agreed. Yeah. Hey Ben Osteen, good to see you. How's it going? Oh yes, Cooking Panda is on YouTube. I think I've seen it before. But is it I think it's a cartoon, right? I don't think it's actually a person cooking, right? I'm not sure. I remember seeing it though. I am now crowned. Yes, that's right, Kima. I am now crowned. No cooking shows. Yeah, it was not a cooking show. Yep. And this is us back at the hotel. And then, so this is the second open gaming area. In the back is where they would do all the, like, there's another room back there, so that's where the virtual flea market and... Oh, wait, hold on. Eva says that Cooking Panda is a cooking show. Then I don't know it. Then I need to look it up. Thank you, Eva. But this is the second, this is the, let's see, this is the, over here. The open gaming in blue over here. And there's another room behind that, and that's where the virtual flea market is, and that's where the charity sale was. But you had to go into this room to get in line for the charity sale. And at least there was a sign for that in front of this one, but it was confusing. But yeah, so this one had all circular tables. The other room, which was bigger and brighter, had all rectangular tables. And so the day 0, my first game of BGG Spring was Alibis. We got to play it in person with Michael and Steph and friends. And we won. It was pretty easy. So that was pretty cool. Yep, there we go. That's the selfie that, I had to take. And then as I was leaving to go back to my room, I ran into Murphs. I had no clue they were going to be there, so it was nice to see them. I found a bing bong. I found both bing bongs. For sure. So I was like, we need to, get a game in, so we planned for a day to get a game in. Otherwise, I would not have seen them. For real. I didn't run into them for the rest of the time unless I was I knew where I was going with them. But yeah. And then this is Jaffa from the Game Guildies Discord, which was really nice to meet her. And then this is the dexterity area. And the first 2 days they had the games that you would win from registration over there on the right. So this is day 1. This is their system, is that they had playing cards you got when you got your badge. And then based on what suit you got to get games from a certain table. Let me see if there it is. This is not the table I got. I think I was a diamond. So yeah. Oh, and I didn't even go through all the tables, but yeah. And here's me and Duchess in our crowns, in our matching crowns, because mine is just like hers, only it's blue. But we were in a elevator together, and this lady's like, we like your crowns. And I was like, yeah, Duchess has how many did you bring? And she goes, oh, I brought 5. 1 for every day. Yes, it's our player colors too. Yes, agreed. It's so pretty. I'm so grateful for Duchess for that. It's funny because I went out to dinner with our family games, and everybody was like, are y'all celebrating something? And I was like, we're like, no. And then I think it was Starla was like, oh, you were wearing a crown. They thought you were celebrating something. I'm like, oh, now it's just me. And this is Jofia, also from Game Guildies. And then this is I taught Derek Minecraft Town, which I got to play at John Declare's game day that someone else actually bought. But this is a game from Japan, where you are kind of drafting tiles but you have to buy them, right? It's draft and buy in order to build out your little Minecraft town. And you also have to buy rails in order to convert and deliver the right resources to the buildings that give you points, if that makes sense. So yeah, that was very fun. I enjoyed that. I like that game. And of course, I had my Panda name badge with me, and put the badge underneath there. And I loved all their flags. They had flags for almost every, like, party gamer, war gamer. I put Omni gamer, and it was my BGG Spring first time, you know. And they had ones that were blanks. It was like you could put your second time and third time and stuff. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to where we get to meet Games Mama before she has to leave. Yes, so that was Minecraft Town. Yep, here's a close-up of that. My little badge and the flags that I got. So yeah. It was a very pretty game. I liked it. This is our ending, like, this is my ending thing. So there's some that give you resources every round. There's some that give you resources one time. Some that gives you resource one time, but then every round you get a different resource. And then you have to move things and convert things and to get points and stuff. So I like it. I didn't think I like it better at a little bit higher player count. And then I taught him cities, and I just randomly grabbed a woman that was like walking around, not without any games. I was like, do you want to play? She's like, yeah. She enjoyed it so much, she's gonna buy a copy. So I'm like, yeah. But yeah, this is cities. This is my end of my cities from Devere. The interesting thing is that BGG's copy did not have English rules. So that was interesting. But yeah, it was fine. We did it. All of these are also not in English. Do you not notice that all the cards are also not in English? Luckily, I remember how to score these. And you can always look it up, but yeah. I like to do that. I like to meet new people. There was this really nice couple that had, and you'll see, they had a game Pagoda that I really wanted to play, and they had Rock Hard set up, and he was looking at the rulebook. I'm like, do you want me to teach you? So I taught them Rock Hard, and they loved it, and so they're gonna get that. But then afterwards, like, then I borrowed Pagoda from them to play that, and then yeah, they liked both games. I was like, yeah, I checked in with them afterwards, and I'm like, yeah, those are good games. And yeah, they were very kind. I didn't get to play any games with them, but it was very nice to just chat with them and help them out. Games Mom says, I'm more here now than before. I was only kind of listening while in the car, but full focus is now. Full focus is now. Dr. Sign in the house from Game Guildies. That was the group that I was mainly hanging out with, and then I was like just trying to get games in with friends. It was funny. I saw Candace Harris from BGG. Like, literally, the elevator doors were closing. She was coming by to push the button. I was like, Candace! She's like, hi, man. I was like, do you want to... She's like, no, you're going down, I'm going up. And we'll meet each other. Did we meet each other? No. I literally had to be like, where are you gonna be? So, yeah. Yes, this is Creature Caravan. My first time playing. I'm very happy with the play. I really enjoyed it. Duchess very kindly taught it to us. So yeah, this was it was very fun. It's a little bit racy in that you're trying to race to the end to get most points, but I enjoyed it. It's of course dice, and the dice are gonna give you what you want, what you can do and stuff. So that's a little bit of a thing, but yeah, it was very interesting. I felt like I was too tight on the money. It was definitely luck of the card draw, because I think it was Dr. Sign. I forgot who was playing here. Oh no, that's not Dr. Sign. That was Duchess's friend. He lucked into a card draw that gave him money, and that was very powerful for sure. I know the little breads are so cute. This is of course a deluxe copy with the little breads. Those are the baggies, I do think, and then the money is metal and the apples. And those are the zombies that you had to kill. The treasures are the same, though. And then we had our own little people, our little carts and stuff, wagons that are going down. So this is the deluxe copy. It's very cute. I like it. I definitely would play it again. Definitely want to play it again. But yeah, it was definitely luck of the card draw, whether or not you can get something that helps your engine very quickly, right? Because you have to roll the dice, and then depending on your roll, you can place and get stuff. I definitely will go more into the cards next time, I think, just to make sure I can get something with... I got the card for money a little bit too late in the game to really, like, want. Now, went to the restroom and came back and I saw this McDonald's backpack. I was like, I gotta take a picture of this. I asked her, she was very nice, but it's very, like, sturdy. I was like, that's so cool. I'm sorry, but that was like, yeah. And then this is us at the end of the game. Towards the end of the game, I had way too many resources at the end, and I was 1 away. You'll see I was 1 away, but here's my engine. As you can see, you get to put dice on the cards and stuff. But yeah, and then I got some treasures that always give you points. But yeah, my engine wasn't the best, but also it was my first time playing, so it was fine. Definitely a game that you want to play multiple times, for sure. Yeah. As you can see, I was 1 away from getting even more points from going past that. Nope. And, like, the person who has, like, I could not even go up high here until the very end because I never had enough money. Money is so tight in this game. And then this is all the Spiel des Jahres tables. There was literally 3 tables in each row, so 3 columns and multiple rows of tables. So every game had 3 tables where you could play them with. And I don't think I'm at the end. I do believe I'm missing a lot of the kids' games that passed me. But yeah. And then this is was Senior Azul. A little bit tired after Derek and Michael's was it hot, like, spicy challenge, pizza challenge? I still have to send that to Derek. Yeah, he was a little drunk after that. He's like, no, I wasn't. I was just tired. So. And that was a funny picture, so I took it. But yeah, he really came to life this con, which I thought was hilarious. And then played with Duchess another game with creatures. This is Wondrous Creatures that Duchess picked out, and I'm glad she did. Again, deluxe edition. But yeah, man, another kind of like engine building, exploring game, which I really enjoyed. This is really cool is that you have 3 workers. One of them has a magnet, so that your leader can stick onto there and move around and not like get knocked off every 2 seconds. Again, worker placement game. The meeples are so cute in this, best meeple ever. I know. Yes, agreed. Even the leaders have a backside. Yes, they did. They had a face and a back, which was really cool. That was really good attention to detail. But yeah, they stuck on there so that because it's a worker placement game, right? So when you place your workers, it doesn't it doesn't knock off. I also love the art on these creatures. He's so cute. I absolutely love this hamster. It was so cute. He's like, this is my ball. Or my fruit. And all the dragons. Look at all of us. Like, basically your worker, right, covers 2 spaces. And then you get all the things that connect to those 2 spaces. So usually it's 2 or 3 things. And then like all these water spaces will get covered up with more tiles to give you more stuff. It was awesome. It was awesome. Games On says, what does the retail edition look like and what is deluxe? I'll look at that. And welcome in, D-Waltz. Thank you so much. I do believe that the dragon, like the worker pieces, we had 2 sets. So the deluxe or expansion gave you another set to choose from. So I could choose between the whale or the seahorse, right? Different worker types, extra content you can purchase. Yeah, but the base workers, I do believe, is one of these 2 sets. So it's still magnetic and everything. And then you have the base ink wells. Those are still going to be the same. So I don't think too much has changed, except for the expansion gave you more. There was also a purple. So if you look here, this purple one is from the expansion. Yeah. Oh, the whale ones are the extra content, and then the ones I used are not. Yeah. And then the purple one is also extra content. Everything looks like the retail edition. Yes. Everything else looks like the retail edition. Yes. So we got to choose between 2 sets of workers, and the purple one is also not retail, it's expansion. And then our family plays games came in, and we got to take a picture. He's drinking water, y'all. That's not beer, that's water. So I got a quick picture of him. Ben says, more and more I find myself being put off by overproduced games. It's like visual noise after a point. I understand, Ben. I understand. But this one was actually not bad. And this was, you had to do it in this way because you covered 2 spaces. So they had to be big, and you had a leader. So they had to like stay on it some way. So I don't think this was too overproduced, if that makes sense. But yeah. So, and look how cute this one is. He's so fluffy, and he has a little thing covering himself from the rain. It was so cute. The sugar glider was adorable. I love the art in this game. And the icons were easy to see. James Noah says, I like the way Wondrous Creatures did it. The worker Maples and the leader do take their place in the game. I think they did it in a smart way for the way the game works. I agree. And I think it was necessary. But yeah, I think maybe these net tokens might be just cardboard, right? In the retail edition. And these trophies are metal. You can't tell, but they're metal here. So that's a deluxe edition. I think the retail edition is just cardboard trophies. And then, like, these are my cards that I got to play down, which gave me stuff. So I got endgame points from the blue ones, or points, in-game points. And you get to do stuff like, get cards, and yeah. So there is an engine, plus the icons are a set collection type of thing. Retail is cardboard for trophy egg. Oh yeah, the eggs are also cardboard. Oh yeah, this one was wooden. And nets and energy. Yeah. Ben says, it's more that if there's a lot of theme in the components and a lot of extra vocab for things we already have common names for, like workers discard, I get tired looking at it. I totally agree. This one I don't think was that way. Like, they didn't rename things. I also agree. There was a game, I forgot the name of it, but it was like, what was this again? Oh, but why did this means that? Yeah, it's bad. Kima says, I would like to play this game at more players. It fell a little flat at 2. Interesting. Because we played it at 3 or 4 for Wondrous Creatures. Let me just double check when. BG Stats coming in for a win. Let's see. How many people did I play Wondrous Creatures with? I did 4. It was me, Duchess, Amy, that was on Board Gamer Steph's channel, and Jelfia. So we played it at 4. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how it would play at lesser player counts. I think 3 or 4 probably would be the sweet spot for sure. Because I don't think at 2 players the map changes all that much. Which is sad. Yeah. And as you can see, Ananda is in the background because I was like, let's play it. We didn't play it. And I took a picture of this because he looks like he's peeking over the table. My little panda. So cute. Anyways, yeah, so this is Wondrous Creatures at 4 players. It's a table hog. For sure, because you also have all these cards and stuff. So, but I enjoyed it. I definitely want to play it again. Maybe try it at 3. But yeah, those are the goals over there to get points. So like, that's a little bit of a race. These are the markets that you can get cards at, but you have to do something else in order to play the cards. And everyone has their own leader and special ability, which was nice. Yeah. Also adjusted goals for 2 and less trophies, so it does play well too. Interesting. Games Mama says there is a backside of the map for 2 to 3 players. Oh, I didn't know that. And there's adjusted goals for 2 and less trophies. So she didn't mind it at 2. I think it was Kira that didn't like it at 2. Interesting. Maybe I do want to try it at 2 then. And then of course Eric Lang. And here we are. I took a video instead of taking a picture. And then this is day 1? 2. Day 1. Yes, day 1. This is the line for the exhibit hall. And I was like, do I want to go in there? I'm trying to meet Nikki and Lincoln to play all the Kidder Spills games, but I did. And luckily I did, because I bought myself the shirt for this year as a souvenir. And man, this is like, they sold out within like the first half of the second day. Yeah. So this is day 1. And then I'm walking through the exhibit hall a little bit. Here is Office Dog with, they brought the Lord of the Rings Fellowship trick-taking game, Crafting the Cosmos. There's a new one, Hobbit, there and back again, a roll-and write, y'all, which I'll show off a little bit later. Here is Nyobari, who's not dichotic. I don't know why I thought that it was, but no, this is Nyobari, who I got to meet, who randomly met me in the exhibit hall, which was great. And this is the Office Dog, but you only see the back of their head. Kima says, Crafting the Cosmos dog, killing it these days. Yes, agreed. Crafting the Cosmos Office Dog is killing it these days. Yes, agreed. But I thought that the Hobbit's Tale was pretty fun too. I got to play on another day. And this is Thomas, who also I met down there in that big area. And then here's the Kidder Spills. I do believe that's what it is. Do I have a picture of that? No. But these are all the kids, version of the games that were nominated. So we went through and played all of them, me and Nikki and a bunch of that was Spencer. Was that Spencer? I thought it was Thomas. Did I mess that up? Okay. I'm sorry. I always mess up names. This was also very quick. I was about to join in a game. He was in a game. We're like, okay, hi. We're gonna take a picture. And then... That is Spencer. Okay, sorry, Spencer. Why did I think you were Thomas? But yes, you're Spencer. I also thought Nyobari was dichotic, so my brain was already dead by day 1, y'all. Already dead. Hello, Beyond Dead 13. Good to see you. So we played Cascadia Jr. firstly, and that was on the easiest side. Too many people. Yes, way too many people, especially at cons, right? Which was fun, especially for kids, right? But it was skimming on the rules. It was kind of confusing. But basically, when you get a group of 3 or more of the same type of animals adjacent to each other, you put these little, tokens on there to show that those have been collected, and then you get a token that had a variety of points on it, and then you would continue on building, and then at the end, if you had so every time you get 3 of the same animals, then you would put tokens on and get that animal, and then at the end of the game, for every did I zoom it? There we go. A group of 3, 4, or 5 of the same landscape, you also get those tokens, and those tokens have a random number of points on that. And we didn't even play with the acorns, but yeah, so this was mine. As you can see, I got those animals, but then I only got 2 of the landscapes. It did Cascadia pretty well, and I think it eases kids into Cascadia, which I think. And then the backside of the cards are more Cascadia-esque, so for more casual players, they could do that and then ease themselves into Cascadia. But I think Cascadia is great regardless, but it might be a little bit too puzzly for people right out of the gate, right? And then we played this game. I think it's it's a cake game, but I think its name is Tort something. Time Roller rating. Let's do a quick. Hi, Timey. How are you doing? What were you playing? What's going on? How is it? Welcome in, Time Roller. Welcome in, Raiders. If you don't know, I'm Amanda Panda. I'm primarily a board game Twitch streamer. I do YouTube and all this other stuff as well. What were you playing on your stream, Timey? Hello, Mary Kanda. Ooh, 32,000+ steps. Oh, 106 aluminum cans. Congratulations, Americana. Hey, Jelfia. Had so much fun playing games with you at BGG Spring. Thank you. I also had a great time with you. We already saw some of you earlier. Oh no. Did I get the blurb not working? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have to look into blurps. Thanks, Americana, for the pew 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 pew. There you go. Pew pew pew. Welcome in, Raiders. You got an analog blurp sound. But yes, Americana purchase badge and hotel for World Series board game in September. Nice. I'm hoping they'll bring me out so that I can go. If you don't know, I recently came back from BGG Spring, and they were very kind to bring me in, you know, paying for my trip and everything to go. And so I went and had a great time. I'm very tired though. Hence me chugging tea. And we're going through all the pictures that I know a lot of you like. Let's see. Cameron was playing older games. Long Live the King. Hit and Roll set collection game. Lots of fun if you got 4 to 6 players. Ooh, nice. I am spilling the tea. But not this tea. This tea is good tea. I got it from Earth Cafe. It's like expensive tea. So I'm not spilling this tea. I'm gonna spill the other teas. But yeah. So we're going back. We're on day 1. I know, it's like an hour in. We're only on day 1. So maybe we'll go long enough to raid into Bonds. Bonds, are you streaming today? Is it terrific? Yes, it is. So this is another Kinder Spill nominee. It's about making cakes, but you are visually trying to see what colors will overlap with the colors on your cake. So this side is my cake on the right hand side. Oh, you can't see my thing. And the left hand side is my sugar cubes. So whatever you match, you get whatever, like, from that top layer down, whatever you match, you get, you know, either sugar cubes or points. And then you can turn those sugar cubes into random points. It's very cute, but it's about it's about you visualizing where everything is, right? It was cute. Some people didn't like it. I kind of enjoyed the visualization, but I didn't like that you were limited to 2 slices to choose from, and then the one slice that you didn't use, it goes to the next person. You get another slice from the previous person in front of you, and then you flip over one. So you kind of see, but I kind of needed more variety because I kind of got stuck with stuff. Bond says 5:30 for blueprints. I will be raiding into you if I'm still alive. But if I'm not, everyone's gonna go and join you. So this is my finished cake. As you see, like the second layer from the bottom, when I placed it, I overlapped the pink, which means I got 2 sugar cubes and a point. You better be alive. I'll be alive, but will I be live on Twitch and YouTube? We'll see. But the second layer from the bottom, I overlapped the pink, so I got 2 sugar cubes and a star, but I got 2 pink sugar cubes. That's very important because your jars have to be different types of sugar. And I overlapped the purple, so I got 1 purple sugar cube. I overlapped the orange, and I got 1 orange sugar cube, but I didn't overlap the green, right? And you can flip over. You just can't, like, take a layer and kind of match it. You have to match it on the table visually, right? You can't, like, try to, you know, test it out before you place it. So, yeah. And then there's gold sugar cubes that are wild. There it is. It is called Top the Tort. Top the Tort. Also, Galileo Galilei is so good. I need to get a copy. They got a copy with the expansion, so the promo. But there's gold sugar cubes and stuff that you can do. Which is wild, which allows you to fill in your sugar cubes in order to get more points. So yeah, and the cool thing is if you ever filled in the big one over here, the 5 one, then you get to roll the dice and get some random stuff as well. So yeah, It's a pretty game. It's light, of course, because it's a kid for kids. But it's nice to like kind of get them into visualizing where things are, right? It's a Kinderspiel des Jahres. So I was right. So these are all the Kinderspiel des Jahres. There's 3 tables of each of these games. This is the next one we played. It was Masserand. But basically, you are mice trying to find other animals in order to help the tooth fairy get their teeth. Which was an interesting theme, but it had a panda in it. So I was like, oh, I'm interested. And it's cooperative memory game. So if you don't like memory games, you might not like this. But it's a cooperative memory game. Where everyone knows one tile, and every tile has a small, a medium, and a large animal on it, and you're trying to find them. But if you run out of all the large teeth, you don't want to find the large version of the animal. You want to find the smaller version of the animal. So it was it's cute. I like it. It's a little memory game. Hold on, I gotta go here. There we go. So you flip over a tile with the white background, and that's the animal you need to find. And as you can see, there's a large panda and a small panda and a medium panda somewhere, and you're putting your pieces on this grid over here to show what row or column you think it is in. And it's a cooperative game where you're all trying to find it. And there's this box that's holding all of your teeth. Which is interesting. But yeah, it was great. We played 2. And then Grant found me. Oh, and I took a picture of this because this lady was wearing earrings. These are resin dice with ears on them. I'm like, okay, I gotta get them. So if you like cats and dice, you might want to check out the Grinning Kitten. It was I do believe, at BGG Spring. I know! So cute! So gorgeous. Agreed. And then I met up with Mick and Starla. We were like, we need to get a game in. Mick needed ARCs played. I also need to play ARCs. So I kind of like learned and taught from the rule book. Even though Mick had watched a thing on it. Apparently he does not like teaching games. So we played ARCs. Not Starla's thing, because she does not like to be in conflict with Mick, and does not want Mick to steal all her stuff. So, the player aids are great. I agree. Mainly went through that, for sure. But yeah, like, I caught Mick doing the, the, what do you call it? The social media things, right? But yeah. I kind of balanced things out by not going after Starla and going after Mick instead, which kind of bite me in the butt for a few games. But Starla liked that, and I just wanted everybody to have a good time. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun because I'd be like coming over here towards her end, and she's like, "What are you doing, Amanda?" And I'm like, "Don't worry about it, Starla. I'm not coming for you. Don't worry about it." But they of course got after me, and I'm like, "Dang you people! Leave me alone." But yes, Mick really, like, built up his army. And he took us out. I had to rebuild a couple times, for sure. But yeah, that was it. Yeah, it's definitely a game I would play again. I don't know if I would own it. I would have to be in the mindset that, yes, I'm gonna really go into conflict with people before playing this. This is not a game that I tried to learn it like late at night. I'm like, no, thank you. But once you learn it, it's pretty easy. And we definitely did not go down the ambitions enough to get more points, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is where we ended up. I beat Mick by 1 point, y'all. I beat Mick by 1 point. Look at this. Look at this. 26-27. I was blue. He was yellow. I beat Mick by 1 point. He did not like that. Yes. I know. You gotta shark it sometimes, y'all. We gotta shark him. He got me back on a prototype, for sure. There's this prototype where you're raiding into each other to get stuff. He kept on going after me. I'm like, stay away! Go after your family! Stop going after me! But yeah, it was fun. It's coming out soon, so I think you'll like it. Then we played with Christina. I think it's Christina and Michael and Aldi. And we played Lovecraftian Love Letter. Which I actually enjoy. I think I was like, why is this? The first time I played it, I did not understand the rules on how you go crazy. So this time I really understood it. Starla was very close to winning. Very close to winning, but yeah, no, he's like, oh, they were going after each other for sure. I love this. This is their dynamic, right? He's like going after his wife, and Sarah's like, And then this Sully, unfortunately, I didn't get to game with him, but he found me in the lobby, and I'm so glad I got to meet up with him. So thank you, Sully, for stopping by and got a little chat. As I was going out to dinner, I went to this place that does like hot dogs, like sausages, Polish sausages, and burgers, but they had this homemade cake, and the chocolate cake was good. If you like the cocoa flavor chocolate, not like milk chocolate flavor, there's like more of a lighter cocoa flavor, very moist, good balance of icing, not very sweet. I really liked it, so yeah, we shared that. Kima says the game was not for me. Arcs was not for her. Friend Carson brought it over. It just ended up in my husband and I were in conflict, and then Carson ran away with the win because he was in attack. That's how Grant gets away with winning a lot of games, is that Mick and Starla will go after each other, and then Grant will just go in and win, right? And so Starla liked it that I would attack everybody. So yeah. And then here's Games Mama's backpack. I think Games Mama had like 23 different games she was able to stuff in here, and if you see, that's not our BGG badge. Yeah. 43 unique games from Games Mom. 43. That is crazy. Yeah. 43 unique games. This is a Mary Poppins bag. That's true, Bonds. That is true. It's a Mary Poppins bag. But yeah, so, and all these 3D printed, like, boxes and stuff to have it, which was awesome. So we did end up playing Rebel Princess. I forgot to take a picture of it because Mick and Starla have never played it before. So it was great. Bond says, how many did you get played with Games Mom? Was it worth it? Oh, there you go. That's a question for Games Mama. How many did you get paid? Was it worth it? Time Roller says, yeah, my game group didn't like Arc's 3-player. Rather play it at 4-player. So Time Roller would rather play at 4-player because then you spread out the tacky. I agree with that. I can see that. Bond says that Rebel Princess is fun. I agree. I definitely want to I want to try out Zombie Princess. I was like Bezier, I don't know why Jay did it, but he talked about it on April 1st. I was like, Jay, is Zombie Princess a April Fool's joke? He's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, what? Yeah, so yeah, that was I'm excited to try that one out. Let's see. Okay, Kim also agrees that 4 players seems more balanced than 3 players for arcs. That makes sense. Games Mama says, I got 3 played at PAX East, carrying the background. Then 3 different games, 2 with Panda and 1 with my team members. Oh. So, did you feel it was worth it to have all these games? But I had options, dang it. That is true. You did have options for whatever player count you're with, right? So that's great. That's great. But man, this was so organized. It's a beauty. It's a beauty. Wait, what am I doing? Oh wait. So after Rebel Princess, we played it twice. Mick really liked it. I know Steph and Michael did not like Rebel Princess because too chaotic, but Mick liked it. And then of course Starla. We played the gang. Unfortunately, we were not in tune, so we lost it multiple times. We played it with Derek as well and Duchess, and then they left, and then we played it again at like 4 players, and it was like, yeah, we were not in tune. So worth it. It's no heavier than other bags to carry around. Plus, I always have deer with me. True. If you don't know what deer is a game that Games Mama is actually designing. So if you're interested and you see Games Mama, ask her to play some of the games she's designing. Kima says, you played the gang? I did. I like co-ops. I'm not that great at poker, but I like co-ops. It was just those like close ones where it's like, oh, like you both have only one pair because you have nothing, but then one's higher than the other, you know, or something like that. Yeah, but the game was fun. It's a great game for later in the night for sure. And there's our picture of us together in the room. This is one of the rooms on a different floor. And as you can see, there's multiple tables. So yeah, had to get my selfie. And this is day 2. Beginning of day 2 of BGG Spring is when I went and actually gone through every exhibitor, right? And walked through that and went a little bit more slowly. So in the morning was my exhibit hall. There was indie games and cards. You know, we have smaller publishers self-publishing their games, which is nice. Is that Steph Games, Mama? And then like this one was interesting. I didn't go actually play any of their games, but basically they're like small board games, right? Kind of like chess, checkers, stuff like that. But I was like, oh, it's an elder couple doing it, and I was like, oh, maybe not, but I didn't actually go. Oh, Steph was at Indie Board and Cards there with her beautiful skirt. I thought her skirts were cute, so cute. But yeah, I didn't actually go and say hi. But this was from Brother Ming, which I thought was interesting, like arcade video game-ish in a board game style, right? Death Warmed Over says, funny, they chose the same city and weekend as DreamHack. Memorial Day weekend! Death Warmed Over had so many cons, okay? It was Memorial Day weekend, so DreamHack was in Dallas, Texas. Games Mama, what was the con you were at? Was also in Texas. Dallas, Texas. And then BGG Spring, of course, in Dallas, Texas. Then LA had their own Strategicon. And then KublaCon and SF. All on the same weekend. It was DreamHack. Okay. It was DreamHack. Games Mama was at DreamHack Death Warmed Over, running their board game library. And snuck over to us for an evening. Yes. But yeah, so 4 cons that I personally knew of was happening at the very same weekend. But it's Memorial Day weekend. It's a long weekend. So a lot of cons happen over a long weekend. Plus, BGG Spring literally goes from Thursday to Monday. Now, Monday's a half day. But literally like Thursday through Monday. It was a long con. I was there Wednesday through Monday. So yeah. And then we have coffee. I talked to them. They're gonna have tea. So hopefully I can get a little affiliation thing happening with them. If their tea's good. But I thought they were very cute. Very cute. And then, oh man, this lady had the cutest crochet. I did not get any because I couldn't fit it. But the cats have buttholes. They have little asterisks. I saw a lot of people with like emotional support chickens and stuff. So yeah, a lot of people liked her work. And then Kess Entertainment is a new one for me, but they do a lot of video game or IP games, video games maybe, to what do you call it? To board games. And there's a Tamagotchi game, which you can't tell is in the front. And then it's Hunter, what's that one? Hunter, I do believe. I didn't get to test either of those. But right next door is Z-Mat and Office Dog, which you'll see right now. There's Crystal and Andrea? Oh, I'm terrible with names. So terrible. I also need to remember that. That's Spencer. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, pen me. I gotta check that. Okay, so it was... Blah, 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 blah. No. Where is it? Oh no, did I not put that in there? Oh, here it is. Andrea and Crystal. There is a new love letter stitch style. So more kids, love letter that's coming out from Z-Man. It was cute, and you can play it at 2 players. It was quite interesting. So this is a Hobbit's Tale. There and back again, the Roland right. So you are trying to collect hobbits by basically drawing out paths for them to go back home to Hobbiton. But the hobbits cannot go through other hobbits. Mary Cannon says, it's hard hobbit to break. It is. It is. Playing games is definitely a hard hobbit to break. Oh my gosh, you had 3 puns in a row. Hold on, how many? I'm behind on puns. Hello, Legends. Good to see you. I'm back. What have you been playing? That one. Yup. Oh, that's the Ewok. That's warmed over. That's a different one. That's funny. They've taken the hobbits to Isengard. The hobbits in Hobbiton. Yes. Is that a song? I don't know what song. Sorry. Oh my gosh, that's not what I wanted. This is what. It was a meme. I'm so behind. It was a meme song. Oh man, it's hard for me to do regular songs. No meme songs. Yeah, ma. Oh. On another stream you can type Isengard, they'll be singing. There's no singing on this stream. I'm tone deaf. I'm tone deaf. We need to do a couple more puns for Mary Canada. But this is a cute roll and write. You basically are rolling, you're drafting 1 die, and then the other people draft die, and then if you have no more dice to draft, you get to re-roll all of them and then draft a die. And you cannot go through other hobbits. Each hobbit has their own path, but you can connect paths, the other paths. And if you can connect Gandalf or Boromir, I think, to Hobbiton, you get extra points, which is here. And there's ways for wizards to make other paths, but to get more points, you have to feed them as they go into Hobbiton. So you have to have bread in order to feed them in order to go to Hobbiton. As soon as they do, because you can't retroactively feed them, which was interesting. But yeah, so this is only one. I think there's like, this is a whole book of different scenarios you can do. And they're all a little bit different, which is cool. And then the number of, swords, is at the end, is what do you call it? It's like a separate thing. It's for the next adventure, if that makes sense. And when I ended it by finding all 12 hobbits going home, but I didn't win, which is interesting. Let's see. Legends played 4 board games new to me this weekend. Weather Machine, ooh, that's a big one. Fit to Print, love it. Rumble Nation, also love it. Horrify World of Monsters, really enjoyed that. Did y'all win that one? Did you win that one? Not sure if you did. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. But yeah. So this is the end. This was the end. As you can see, like, all my hobbits came back. I didn't get Boromir. I didn't, like, feed a couple of my hobbits as they came in and stuff. So yeah, it was very interesting. But Crystal won. Regardless. So yeah. Legend says we lost against 3 monsters, but we won against 2 monsters. Nice. Very nice. Yeah. I like the monsters in the world of monsters for sure. They're kind of cool and neat and have like special abilities and stuff. Yeah. And then here's a little thing about the nude Stitch. You can, yeah, so there is like the regular Stitch, and then you can give it Experiment 626, which gives you negative points. But you can flip those back and stuff. So it's kind of cute. It's very, very cute. I love the little bag that's gonna come in. So yeah. And if you don't know, like Z-Man and Office, Z-Man really has, Asmodee got the Lord of the Rings, IP. And they have now, like, they can do Disney stuff, which is really cool. Legends is on a 5-stream streak. Watch out, everybody. Thank you, Legends, so much. And then continuing on, we have off the page, there's Jay showing off Corporate Discovery, which I just got in. And then we have another indie... Oh, why do I do that? Another indie publisher. Potions. Oh, interesting. I never got to go in and check that one out. Now, this is the big game. It wasn't checked out of the library a lot because they had them on tables and stuff. But yeah, Galactic Cruise is one I definitely want to play. And it was a big hit. A lot of hype around that at the con this year. And then this is one of the local game stores, Common Ground, who was playing a lot of games, who was selling a lot of games. And another small publisher, and this is Galactic Cruise on the table. And then we have some more jewelry and 3D printed stuff. Happy Habitat is another small Lamplight Games, a small publisher. And then they also did a lot of jewelry, which I really enjoyed. More jewelry stuff. Pocket Parks is very interesting. I hope to have him on for his Kickstarter, but Pocket Parks is basically they used the pictures they took when they went around the different national parks, which was fun. And they played a game. It's a card game, kind of with Mahjong-esque mechanics to it, which is kind of cool. You did see Board Gaming Mama in one of my pictures, Legends. We snuck her in to play a couple games with us late one night. So, Legends, you did see her. She was there. And then they had these postcards you could take with the QR code to the Kickstarter and everything. But these are all pictures that they took themselves, which is fun. And they had a little fun thing, like what national parks you want to go and try. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, wait. Games Mama says, not Board Gaming Mama. Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh, I always get you two mixed up. Sorry. But yes, you're right. It wasn't Board Gaming Mama. It was Games Mama that was in. I was not sneaking in people left and right. So yes, no, I did not see Board Gaming Mama. Was she there? Heather was not there. I don't think so. Games Mama was there, not Board Gaming Mama, Legends. And then this is Beth. She runs the BGG store and does a lot of awesome stuff with BGG and is one of the staff and lovely human being. And then this was Our Family Plays Games has a promo for Earth called the Fox and the Badger promo. So it's a fox on one side, badger on the other side. And the first time you can get it is at the BGG Spring Con. But if you want it, you can go to the BGG promo store and pick it up. And then their snacks, they did freeze-dried candies and nuts and stuff, which is kind of cool. Everyone really enjoyed it. I saw these cool, like, ear cuffs. And that booth also had tiaras, too, over there. Which is funny. Because I was like, we did not buy it from you. But we are also wearing tiaras. Which is kind of cool. And then this is like all these 3D printed stuff. It's kind of overwhelming, this store, but it had a lot of cool stuff in it. So one thing I would love to like go check out more. And then these are little clips with little, plant life on them that you could got for free, and you saw people wearing them around. It was cute. Legend says this weekend is tabletop Oahu weekend. I just got the okay from coordinator to run a Flip 7 tournament. I'm supposed to grab a meal with Anna Maria this Saturday. Awesome! Yes, Anna Maria is a special guest to Tabletop Oahu in Hawaii. And she will also be demoing Popcast Fighters. So that's cool. Very happy for you and Anna Maria. That's awesome. And then I played Pagoda. Oh my gosh, I saw this game at BGG last year. They had a little Asmodee preview thing, and I really want this game for sure. And this one was so cool. Okay, that's the last pun for Mayor Canada. The pun counter is semi up to date. But anyways, Pagoda is a really great game. It's beautiful, wonderful production of it. I saw it at Gen Con. I'm glad I finally got to play a full game, even though it was only at 2 players. But I really like it when they tell you how to put things back into the box, either on the bottom of the box or on the side of the box. So I was like, I take a picture of that. And it's really, really pretty. I feel like, okay, so this right here, this little toolkit is basically so you know how many turns are left. But like, it's not necessary, but it's so cute. And you can put your stuff in there. Each player color gets their own little toolbox to store it in. And like the storage for the components are pretty well done. It's just a little bit weird that, there's not even number of spaces so you can have equal, like you can't split them between the 2 sides. But anyways, it worked well. And then all the tools store underneath this lily pad board that you play on. And it's a gorgeous, fun game. So yeah, so there's the at the end of the game, this is like you could store all the pieces in here, but there's no lid to it. Another weird thing. I really wish there was a lid to it, like a snap-on lid. And then this is my player board. So you're creating all these like flowers and putting on insects and getting honey and stuff and getting leaves in the trees and lanterns. It's a gorgeous game. And then they have a player board under here as a reminder of what the scoring is, if that makes sense. And you can go, down the river to find more insects and stuff. Such a fun game. I did it. We kind of had a demo of it with Aaron from Game Enthuse and Phantom, and we all loved it. So I hope it comes to the US. And then this is the charity sale. We're in one of the open gaming rooms. There's Steph and Michael. This is their second time through. I did not go to the virtual flea market because I knew I did not have any room for games. And I did not go to the charity sale. So basically BGG has a lot of games. And when they cull games from the library or get extra copies, then they sell it here and people get very cheap games. They're like $10 or $5 or $20 if it's a big game. So it's a big discount. And so you can only buy 5 at a time. Which is so crazy. So the line was super long, and this is the second run through. And I'm trying to sneak a picture in, but I went to the exit and asked if I could take a picture, which I did. So basically, they're just games lined up, on a table, and you grab 5 of them, and then you have to pay cash, for them at the end. But yeah, and it's all for charity, which is lovely. So yeah, so this is all this is after the first pass. So there's still a whole ton of games to get. And there's Eric Martin. And then I had about 30 minutes before I was gonna meet up with another person to play games. So I painted. I did mini painting of a little little pride penguin for my first time. If I had more time, I would have done a better job. But yeah, he's so cute. And then I got to meet Gardner from Panda Manufacturing, and we got to finally play Ananda with Duchess. It is a domino tiling game. So you're moving your little monk to a color area, and then you can expand it, and then the difference between the number of that color symbol and the card you played that matched that color is how many tiles you get. And then you draw up to the number of cards equal to the number of tiles you get. So it's a very interesting little like puzzle that you play here. And whether or not you go for somewhere where you're not gonna be able to get points because all the cards you play are points in order to get more tiles, or you're just gonna go and get exactly the same number of of your card as the tiles as your area so that you can get the most points possible. Interesting little efficient seed puzzle. I actually enjoyed that one. Light game, but puzzly, and I like puzzly games, so that was a fun one. Yeah. So, and it's pretty at the end, right? But the weird thing is that the squares on the board is a little bit bigger than the tiles, but you have to overlap the tiles. So that was a little bit weird. But other than that, it was cool. I took a picture of this because they literally built tiles around me. So I was like stuck in the middle of this hole. And then when I moved, that's just like, why is there a hole in the middle of the board that you can't cover because there's no tiles underneath? I'm like, because I was sitting there. And you built around me is what happened. Yeah, so that's Ananda. As you can see, there's a little hole right there. But yeah, very interesting puzzle. Yeah, and this is the top-down version, where you can see, like, if you place a tile, you have to cover 2 different tiles, right? And it has to be flat. So it was quite interesting. And then there's the love letter, Stitch love letter that's coming out soon in all its glory. And then the last oh no, this is a regular Spiel nominee. Crackle Oracle, where basically it's a cooperative game where you are drawing the word and other people have to guess what word you have. Like So Clover-ish, right? But what you can draw is only based on the lines. So you can only draw over these lines. You can't go past the lines that are scribbled onto the board. And then that's your limitation. And then you would basically, everyone puts their word in, you would get double, fake words, right? That mixes things up. And then instead of trying to figure out what everyone has, you're taking out words that you think is not on the table. So you're taking out like sail because you don't see any boats on the table. It was an interesting reversal, right? So that is slightly different from other games. So this is mine, and I had bubble bath, and I tried to make it a bubble bath, but people thought it was like other stuff, like, what do you call it? Weather or something. So it's quite interesting game. So we had a big group of people, and that's, I think, the way you do it. It's definitely a party game for sure. A Spiel nominee. Then we went to Papado, because apparently Starlight always has to go to Papado when she's in Texas. My first time, but it's a beautiful place, and we shared a drink. But yeah, lots of yummy food. So we did mozzarella sticks for appetizers, gator with hot honey, which was actually pretty good, and then it was a calamari with artichokes platter, which was yummy. I did not get Shipley's donuts because they would not deliver into the hotel because they had to go through the toll road and everything. There's literally 2 Shipley donuts within like 5 minutes of the hotel. But because of the freaking toll road and the toll road and the airport, they don't deliver, which is sad. You got DoorDash Shipley's to your Saturday morning? Ah, so jealous. Mick was like, do I wake up early? Because you have to wake up at like 7 a.m. and get it. But man, you're so lucky. Ugh. But they wouldn't go through the tolls for some reason. It was sad. It was sad. Maybe if I ever go to BGG Fall, I'll be able to do it. So I got the seafood pasta. Yeah. With shrimp and crawfish and annaluli sausage and mushrooms. It was so good. I had like leftovers for breakfast. Yum. I stopped Grant from catching Eric with bunny ears, and then caught Eric catching Grant with bunny ears. Eric Lang, which was funny. Oh, Games Mom says try the hotel breakfast is bad. I did not eat in the hotel at all. I was very lucky that I was with friends that had cars that was able to catch a ride with to go out to eat. So yeah. And we did get groceries, so I had bagels and cream cheese and fruit cups for like breakfast or lunch every day. And then this is was it mix dinner, which was a seafood with like platter, and this is Starla, who always had to have catfish. And then this is Eric Lang, who had the special. Oh my gosh, these maple glazed carrots, so good. But he had the grouper, which was also very good. And then I think Grant had like chicken strips or something, fish strip. I don't know what it was, but it was chips and shrimp, seafood and chips or fries. We came back and we played. What was this one? I'm losing my mind. Oh, I played this. What was this one? Oh, there it is. Moses. This was also okay with this one. Moses was. That was day 1, 2. Moses was day 3. No, day 4. This is start of day 4. Where I played Moses. Oh, Games Mom says because the hotel breakfast is bad, they DoorDashed Shipley's. But Shipley's is such good donuts and I didn't get to try them. But anyways, Moses is kind of like a... Oh, it's a drafting game. So you're placing your people to say which cards you want to draft. Do you want to draft 1 on the bottom, 2 on the bottom, or 1 on top, or 1 on the bottom, or 2 on the top bottom? But it goes in order, right? So if you go last, you might not have any cards to draft on the bottom. And then it's different sets. And then you can buy buildings to either give you points or negate some things. And then there's goals. Like these brown ones are like, what do you call it? They're events, right? That's gonna go off when it goes to the bottom, which can be positive or negative events. I do believe like this one is it. The most stars would give you 15 points, but the least is -7. And I always had the least because I had none. But I had this card that says I don't get negative points, so I was saving everybody by building this. I was a builder. Like look at all this building. I had a lot of building cards, so I was the builder. And then you had to feed your people at 3 times during the game. And then this is if you had the yellow cards, how many you got. You had to have a minimum or else you got negative points too, which was interesting. And the food was scarce and stuff like that. And you had hunters that gave you food, or you were inventors and collecting different inventions that you do. It was a cute game. I enjoyed it. And then like the player order really didn't matter. So, and then I saw Candace, who was playtesting one of Eric Lang's games. I didn't get a game in with Candace though, which I was sad. And then I played a game with the Murphs. They had Village Rails. Such a small box, but such a it's almost like the Virish, which is a big game in a small box. But this is a medium game where you're drafting these rails to place in your tableau, and if it goes from like the side with the arms to a blank side, then your rails end and then you score them right away. So yeah, and you can also buy more cards that would give you more scoring for your rails. I love these puzzly games. They're so puzzly, and look how puzzly, like they're really thinking hard, y'all. Oh my gosh. Yes. Legend says Candace always looks super happy in every photo. She's just happy to be with there. Yeah. I love the the looks I caught of the Murphs, like really trying to think. And it's like, no, I just need that one card, and someone else could spend all the money to get further cards, because if you don't want the furthest card from the deck, you have to pay $1 to get in, right? And then same for this, plus you have to pay $3 just to get it. And then from your hand, you got terminal cards that give you money. So these cards down here that you're paying for is giving you points on top of the points based on what's on the rails, what symbols are on the rails and stuff. So for instance, like these signals over here is just the 3 and the 2 points, and then there is the barns, you want same types of terrain on your rail, while the tractors, you want different types of terrain on the rail, and then the yellow, the orange signals is just you want number of them, and then at the end of the game you get purple signals. So yeah, it's very interesting. So here's what I did at the end, where you can buy these locomotives to make your rail score better, but sometimes it doesn't work. And then you're always going to have a terminus card that's going to give you at least $3 so you can continue buying things. Otherwise the game would definitely stall. And it comes with little counters for your points, which was kind of cool. So yeah. But there's us playing a game together. So happy that we got one together. And Village Rails is one I definitely want to pick up. And then I went to and did Proto Alley. The crazy thing about Proto Alley is that it's inside the food. It's in a room inside the food court. So you have the food court, and then you had the Proto Alley inside a room inside the food court. So outside the food court in the main hall, there were no signs saying that what was inside the food court. You had to go into the food court to see, oh, that's where Proto Alley is. But there was no sign saying Proto Alley. It was just a schedule of events, and Proto Alley was one of them. So I was like, there was no walk in, random demo people. So people were sitting there for a little while, right? With nothing to do. And only the people that came in are the ones that actually saw it on the schedule and actually, signed up for playtesting, which I thought was sad. I felt like if it was in one of the big rooms, then there would be a lot more people talking and maybe possibly playtesting. But otherwise, it was a good event. There was 8 tables of different, games, prototypes that were being played, which is nice. And then all the people that were playing other prototypes just wandered and played other prototypes and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. And then of course I was doing Popcats. And yeah, it was not bad. And then of course Panda Game Manufacturing gave some kits out and stuff like that, which was nice of them. And this I didn't see it the first day, and I saw it in the 4th day at the con. By the way, the hotel loved the con. They literally bought the con shirts for all their staff to wear in the con area, which is kind of funny. Legend says, I want to play Popcats Fighter. Well, you get to this weekend with Anna Maria. So you'll be able to do that with Anna Maria, which is nice. And then dinner was with the Office Dog gang, which I was they were kind enough to let me go with them to dinner. This is deviled eggs. Literally, the devil part, the mayo part, is half, double the egg. It was too much. I actually put it into my baked potato, which actually was pretty good. Man, yeah, I had a loaded baked potato, and it was so good. And then I actually had the salmon. And it says salmon with lobster fondue. But it's not a lobster fondue. It's a lobster cheese sauce on my salmon. I was thinking I'm going to dip something into the lobster fondue, but it was not. I was a little disappointed, but it tasted good. And it wasn't lobster. It was crawfish. Still tasted good. Yes, it was very yummy. It was very yummy. And then, of course, dessert, there was brownies. We had brownies with a little caramel sauce, which also was very good. And then we went back to the hotel, and we played, I taught them duck and cover, which they really enjoyed. And then Crystal taught us charcuterie. I finally got to play it, which I really enjoyed. I wish there was more different, what do you call it? Scoring cards? But otherwise, it was pretty good. And it is a I cut, you choose type of scenario. And I was like, man, I cannot get things I need. There's no way to change your player order either. So, a lighter game, but cute and fun and pretty at the end of the game, So yeah. Crawfish are basically lobster chihuahuas. Oh my god, Deadpan, I love that. Crawfish are lobster chihuahuas. That's actually quite true, but that's hilarious, Deadpan. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's so funny. I like that. I like that description. I'm gonna use that. Games One says crawfish is amazing when cooked right. I completely agree. I love crawfish. You know, I'm from the south, so we had crawfish boils all the time. And it was so yummy. I like it better when it's in the shell and you can peel it out, because if it's in a sauce already peeled, it kind of shrinks and then gets lost. Yeah. But yeah, so cool. Lobster chihuahuas. And this is the gang that we played with for charcuterie. And then I went in and found the Murphs and the OFPG playing Critter Kitchen, which was kind of fun to watch them play that, because they were like in each other's way. They kept on going to the same places. They're like, no. So they were really going in each other's way. I think they'll like it better at 3 players though. But yeah, and then I walked by and saw, can I snooze that? Snooze that. Okay, there we go. Are you talking about Critter Kitchen? Or are you talking about Babylon? I think Critter Kitchen is a fun game too. But yeah. But they had a lot of... Indeed. Yes. But Babylon is a beautiful game. Danny from Flat River Group kind of demoed it at Gen Con, I think. Or PAX Unplugged, and ever since then I wanted a copy of this. I haven't been able to play a full game and haven't been able to get a copy of it. I really want this one. This one's really pretty and looks really fun. And I'm jealous that they got to play it, honestly. And then I was taught, what is this? Endeavor Deep Sea. One of the Spilderzaras nominees definitely wanted to play it, and then Mick wanted to play it. So I thought it was going to be a long game because I didn't think Starla would like it, but I think Starla would like it. Bye, legends. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you for being here for lunch, but I hope work goes fast for you. And it's smooth. But this is Endeavor Deep Sea, my first time playing. There was a guy that also wanted to play it, so I was like, you want to play it with us? So he's like, Tim's like, sure. And I'm like, oh. But yeah, then we had Manu who taught it to us, which was nice. This is one of those games that's very short. You know, you only had 6 turns, but each turn got progressively longer as your engine got better. And it was quite interesting, quite good. I definitely want to play it again. I thought it was a long, big game, but it wasn't. It might be a little bit medium heavy-ish, but it's a short. We did it under 2 hours, probably an hour and a half. Quite interesting. I think Stalra might like this one, but I know Mick played it before. But yeah, it was my first time, so I really enjoyed it. I definitely want to play this again. So that's Endeavor Deep Sea, where you're basically you're drafting a new worker, which is also a new, worker placement spot. And then you're moving up these tracks to unlock either better workers, which is the red track, or get more discs to activate workers, which is the green track. Plus you lose discs for, going out and diving and sonaring and helping find animals and stuff like that. And then the yellow track is allowing you to reopen your worker placement spots and get discs by, getting your discs back from your workers. And then the blue track allows you to go deeper and get more submarines to go explore more. It's quite interesting. I really liked it. We totally forgot about the end game goals or during game goals. But it's quite good. I really liked it. Has anyone else played Endeavor Deep Sea? I'm glad I got to play it and got it taught to me, for sure. Okay, I'm terrible at videos. Then, I went out to eat. Bonds hasn't, but want to. Yes. Yes. I think you'll like it, Bots. I think you'll like it. So many games, y'all. Like, so many games, I think, nowadays are like those, tight games. Tight engine building worker placement games where you only have a certain number of turns. They get better as you go. And it's like, this one has less luck because there's not that card draw like in Creature Caravan, which can really affect your engine. This one, everyone, is at the same starting spot. And then, they're building their engine differently based on what they want to go. Ben says, I really like how they took the Endeavor game mechanism and expanded it. And I do miss the original simplicity a little bit, but glad to get rid of the theme. Okay. Was the first theme, was that space? I enjoyed this theme. Deep sea one. I never played Endeavor, I think the original game. I like to play through the mechanics of this one for sure. But it's an interesting balance, and I also wish that when you went to the edge of a track and you got more of that, you got something, as compensation for getting too much, like we're going too hard on something on one of the tracks. But yeah. Okay, and then we're going to go to my dinner was in a taco suite. We're at the end. We're on the last day. Day 5, yeah. We went to this taco place. Ben says the original was colonization with slavery theme. Ooh. Okay, glad I didn't play that. But yeah, this new theme is much better. I went to a taco place. I tried the enchilada taco. I got a taco, a tamale, and an enchilada, which was good. Authentic and everything. And then we came back, and my flight was delayed because apparently Texas has a lot of thunderstorms, and I was not aware of that. So people left before the thunderstorms, and then if you didn't leave by noon and the thunderstorms, you would get delayed. So I was delayed about 1 hour at this point. So I was like, okay, I have enough time. Called, making Starla come down, and we got to get Ofrenda to the table. And I taught it from the rule book. Of course, I got a rule wrong and we fixed it. And of course, I did horribly, absolutely horribly. But this is a fun puzzler. This is definitely a drafting puzzle game as well. Really beautiful. I definitely need to play it again. I know when I left that they wanted to play it again at 2 players. Of course, Starla beat our butts. But it's a pretty game. So you're drafting. Yeah, there's us, and we are one of the few. This is Monday, so we're one of the few last people in town. But you are drafting the portraits, face up. But when you get it, you flip it over. Then you know what the portrait wants around them. And then you can also draft candles that increase to your points, right? And then if you finish whatever the goal is on the portrait or the candle, then you can flip it to the lit side and get those points. So what's interesting is that the only points you get is based on whatever's lit around the thing. So you look at each lit portrait and you get points for each other lit portrait that's around it. Or you look at each lit candle and you get points for each lit portrait around it. Or each, these flowers allow you to get further portraits or further candles. But they also score for each lit portrait. So one time, this is like, that's not... So I technically skipped one of the portraits to get more flowers, which means I have a hole, which means I did not get a lot of points. Which means I need to play this one again. It's a very pretty one. GameZone says, I was delayed by over 4 hours on Sunday night. Raining pretty good when I got to Denver. Then my shuttle bus to the airport parking lot decided to eat a stop sign, which devolved into chaos, which involved like 30 people trying to fit on an already full bus, which some jerk is sitting smack dab in the middle of the bus in his kayak? That is a crazy... That's crazy, y'all. that's that's crazy. Yeah, for me it was just like I was delayed an hour, then I got there, you know, because there was a shuttle to the airport because it was really close. He was very nice. And then I got to my gate and there was like no person at TSA. It was so smooth. I literally should have stayed an extra hour, but I got to my gate 2 hours ahead of time. And then even though after the 1 hour delay, and then it was delayed another hour, so I literally could have, I could have like stayed in and played another game with Mick and Starla for another hour, and then go to the thing. But yeah, what my incoming flight was delayed an hour. I don't know why. And then they were delayed an hour in flight, so they had to kind of circle Dallas, I think, because of the storms. And then when we were on the like tarmac, like we were at the gate, the pilot's like, "Oh, we're gonna do something weird for people who like fly a lot. Is we're going to run one of our engines." I'm like, that means there's something wrong with that engine. And I was a little scared, and there was a lot of, you know, turbulence because we were flying through a storm. But I got home, yay! But yeah, that was my last game, and I luckily got a row to myself. And there was me and the row in front of me. I think there was a family of 4 that didn't get on the plane, honestly, y'all. But I got a row to myself, so I was like, I like the window seat. So I went to the window seat, and I looked across the aisle, and there's this guy by himself, but there was 2 other ladies with him. And I was like, do you want to just sit in the aisle seat? He's like, yeah, just so that 3 more people got a little bit more room, and it was a little bit more comfortable. So I was able to, like, snooze a little bit easier at 10 p.m. and got home at midnight. Yep. And that is, oh man, it's 5:05. I am literally on time, y'all. But we're gonna have an ad soon. So that was my trip to BGG Spring. It was my first time. I enjoyed it. I think next time I will be more, I will know what to do in terms of, like, you know, making sure that, you know, I know I tell people I'm gonna be there and scheduling games and stuff. Thanks Death Warmed Over for gigantifying that slit emote. That's a cute one. Who is that one by? That one is by Felicia. Felicia Day! That's Felicia Day! That's lit. But yeah, so those are some of my pictures. And that was all the games I played. I was there from Wednesday to Monday. And let me see how many games I played. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 27 games. Not bad. Yeah. Thank you, Kimo, for coming and stopping by and talking and listening. There were some repeats in there, but yeah, it was great. I mean, I love a playing con. I mean, the exhibit hall was a good size, right? It was the right size for me. I like that size. It was cool seeing the smaller publishers. It was interesting though. On Monday, the last day, the library closed at 1. Most of the rooms closed at 1. They shrunk down because everyone left usually at Monday morning. But the exhibit hall didn't close till 3, which was surprising. And then they had the room next to the exhibit hall open for open play, which is kind of weird, but also, yeah, that's kind of cool too. So there was like maybe a handful, like 10 to 50 people that stayed around on Monday. But yeah, I think I would leave like Monday afternoonish, probably next time. I would definitely come in early on Wednesday for sure. There was quite a few people on Wednesday, and a lot of people drove. So man, there was like cartfuls of games, and you know, games that they bought, games that they brought, and stuff like that. And I did not bring any games. Oh, Bonds! Thank you so much for the 45-month sub. 40-month streak! That's crazy! Yay! Thank you so much, Vaughn. That's so awesome. Thank you so much all for your support, Bondonator. I am excited to see you soon, my friend. For sure. My week is gonna be crazy. So sorry, Boz, I'm not gonna be able to raid into you though. I am on time for my stream. But yeah. But yeah, GG. So I don't know what I'm doing Thursday, and I know Phantom's joining me on Friday, and then this weekend is Tabletop After Dark. Oh my gosh, I'm so busy off stream too, y'all. I'm gonna shout out Bonds. I know everyone's already following her, but in case you're not, please do go follow my friend over there. And then Thursday from start to finish? Probably. If John's not gonna join me, I'll probably do a from start to finish or something. So you have to stick around to see what that's gonna be. I'll probably show off what game. Now so I fit the bigger game that I got for free into my carry-on, which was a squeeze, y'all. I don't know how it came back out. The small game I definitely could not fit. I was literally like busting at the seams. So that one is going back with Lincoln and Nikki, who's shipping games back. So I don't know when I'm gonna get that one. But yeah, so I am. Yeah, so if John's not gonna join me, it'll be from start to finish, and then for me and Phantom, we'll probably play something on BGA, and y'all can join us. But on Tabletop After Dark, it's gonna be Sunday, not Saturday. Why does it say Saturday? No, it's Saturday, not Sunday, this week. So if you don't know, in LA, Bonita's in town. Ryan Courtney's in town for their personal things, but I'm also gonna be hanging out with them. So yeah, that's gonna keep me busy. And then we're gonna have a game day on Sunday, and there's a playtesting designer day on Saturday. So it's just gonna be a crazy week for me. After the stream, I'm taking a nap. But this Saturday, join me and the Tabletop After Dark crew. We're going to be playing games that you can play along, and we're going to be playing games with each other too. So it'll be a lot of fun, a bit more laid back. Thank you again to Bonds and Death Warmed Over for the subscription, and welcome to the King Einstein 31 for the follow. I don't know if you're here or not, but thank you so much for the follow. And it was so great meeting people at BGG Spring, too. I did get recognized for being on game night, even though I had a mask on, so I was kind of incognito. But it was great. And, man, how heavy is the hair? Those crowns, those tiaras of duchesses are heavy. She must have a very strong neck, because I was like, wow, these things are heavy on my head. Was not used to it. But please join us back here. I need to find someone to raid. Once again, thank you to BoardGameGeek.com for taking me and bringing me out to BGG Spring. I had such a great time. Would definitely go back. It was lovely. It's all about the people, you know? It's all about the people. Let me see. I know Timey raided into me, so we can't raid into Timey. And then I think we'll raid into Heart Board Games. Who will play some games. And I don't see really anybody else, so we'll raid into them. I'm just looking at the raid. Let's see. Hopefully, Bonds is gonna do a blueprint, so she's not. Bonds, did you already do your Kubla Khan recap? Did I miss it? I missed it. Man, I missed so many turns on BGA too. Oh no! Why is Heartboard Games offline? They're live, right? Oh, there we go. I can start the raid now. Okay. please use the raid command of your choice. And in Twitch, we're gonna raid into Heartboard Games. On YouTube, thank you so much for watching. I will be back. Please let me know in the comments what games did you play over the weekend. Thank you, Deathworm for being here. Thank you, Bond, so much. Go check them out. And we're gonna raid and run. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your week. Don't be like me. Don't overbook yourself with a lot of fun. Bye, everybody. See you next time.